Hold on tight. It's time again for the ride of your life at Capital Ford. And the ride of your life begins now with employee pricing for everyone on new Fords. You pay what Ford employees pay. Employee pricing means buy a new 2025 Ford F-150 for just $599 a month. Or buy a new 2025 Ford Escape plug-in hybrid, only $499 a month during our Ride of Your Life event at Capital Ford in Santa Fe.
Hey, welcome back to the Pit Press Live. We are live from Circa Resort, and we were nice enough to be joined by head coach of Boise State football, Mr. Spencer Danielson. How are you?
On.
Yeah, so you have some questions lined up, right?
Yeah, Coach, what an incredible run you had last year, taking over for Dirk Cotter, and the culture, we just mentioned that. I saw your program. We picked up everybody's program, and Boise State probably weighs the most, man. That program there is unbelievable. And you mentioned before, you're a humble guy, but there's also some confidence and swag, man. There has to be 26 bowl games straight. Doesn't happen for a reason. Talk about the culture there, the winning culture, and what your expectations are day to day. You said you stay out of the way. I know that's not true. Talk about the program that's been built there.
Yeah, I mean, Boise State has a culture that has been built for decades on the backs of blue-collar people, right? Players and coaches. And long before I ever got there. We define culture as how you act, how you interact, and how you respond. And this is what these guys do, like how we act with each other, how we interact amongst each other, how we respond to adversity. I mean, it's been a blue-collar culture for a long time. And so as the head coach, I carry that burden. Right, especially in a community, Bronco Nation, I believe it's a fan base second to none. They deserve a team that is on the cutting edge of championships, playoff games, 27 consecutive years of winning seasons. So going to a bowl game is not like, oh, great job, coach. Like they expect, and they should. That's what Boise State's been built on. So to me, it's all process over outcome. That's what I talk to our team a lot about. There's outcomes that are put on us as a team. At Boise State, it's championships, it's college football playoff. I'm all about our process. We're a process-driven team. Can we do our process better than anyone else? Because then game one, game two, that'll handle itself. We got to handle our process the right way.
Process has been handled for many years the right way. It's built like that. You said the expectations are not of just a bowl game. They're expected to compete for championships. So that culture's been in place. Before you got there, you were humble enough to say that. Now you want to continue that for sure. You coach the number one draft choice by the Las Vegas Raiders, Ashton Jeanty. Talk about a little bit about what kind of player he is and what kind of success you think he'll have with the Raiders.
Ashton Jeanty is an elite human being, first and foremost. Like, take away the football success, he's one of the best young men I've ever been around. We met weekly in season, and every time we met, it was all about others. It was about the team. It was about the scout team and how they were doing, how he can come around to. So he's a high character individual. He's that kid that'll go 36 carries for over 200 yards in a game on Saturday, and you better believe on Tuesday's practice, no one's outworking Ashton Jeanty. That's who he is. So all the accolades, Heisman, all these things, he's earned every single bit of it, and I believe he's going to continually push the culture at the Raiders to where they need to go to.
They're looking for a running back, and I think they're pretty happy that they got him.
Yeah,
talk a little bit of he's again. You mentioned the high character. He's also a fantastic player.
Yeah,
but unselfish. You mentioned that. I think that's going to help him in the pros for sure. Talk a little bit about the loss to Penn State.
Yeah, it's one of those games that it's the first time Boise State's lost a Fiesta Bowl. And looking at it, we just didn't execute as much in the critical moments, and that's on me as a coach. Right? I mean, we missed some field goals. We had some penalties that we shouldn't have had, missed some opportunities. And we were down 14-0 in that game, battled our way back to one score in the fourth quarter. We didn't start the game the right way. That's on me as a coach. So when we get back there, we got to do a better job starting fast. I think a lot of that's in our prep from the championship game to the playoff game. I've talked to this about. I think we got to do a better job in playing more good on good in that time instead of just going all scout teams. So there's a lot of things as a coach that I've had to look at and evaluate of how we can play better in those games, because I really do believe we weren't outmatched. Now, they are a very talented team, but we had every right to win that game, and we didn't. They executed more than us and won it. Hats off to them, but we've learned a lot from that game.
Focusing on this year's roster, Coach Maddox Matson was Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year named preseason. Talk a little bit about the leadership role that he's kind of embraced, the transition he's made from last year to this year. Obviously, that carries more expectations moving forward, but it's kind of been what the Boise State identity has been, right? Everyone's kind of chasing after a championship. It's not. The bar is set super high. What does Maddox Matson kind of bring to?
Yeah, Maddox is an elite competitor. I mean, even since coming to Boise State, he's been counted out at Boise State before from either is Maddox going to start or who's he going to be? And he just consistently proves people wrong. He's that guy that has that edge, something to prove every single day. The moment's never too high, never too low. And this is his team now. I told him that in the offseason. This is your team. Take it. Let's roll. And seeing how he's worked, how he's trained, how he's played in spring ball, I believe he's going to be one of the best players in the country. I really do.
Filling the Ashton Jeanty void is going to be really – you don't do that. Mm-hmm. Those are really big shoes to fill. But talk about the running back room. And is it going to be by committee? Do you have a few names that are going to be top heavy? What can you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you lose the best football player in the country, that there's a reality in that. But really like the running back room we got. Sire Gaines is going to be a redshirt freshman that played a little bit last year, got hurt, that I think could be one of the better ones we've had at Boise State. And then Malik Sherrod's a transfer from Fresno State that is a really good switch up. I mean, he's lightning in a bottle. I mean, he's quick, explosive. He probably had one of the best springs of anyone on our team. And then Breezy Dubar and Dylan Riley are two running backs as well that have been on our roster. Breezy was hurt a little bit last year, healthy now. So those four, we feel real confident. We're going to run the football. That's what we believe in as a team, and we've got the guys to do it.
The team emphasis part of this, right? The running game doesn't get going without the guys up front.
That's right.
We had a chance to talk with Cage Casey yesterday. He's an NFL prospect himself, big boy, but he's really articulate and smart and very respectful, and I respect that about him. He had a chance to talk to him a little bit yesterday, but what can you say about him?
He's similar to what I was talking about, Ashton, an elite human being. Married, loves the Lord, dialed in on his team. I mean, he's that kid that has a gym pass off the field so that he can go train at night after football workouts are even done. Like, he's that kid, wired the right way. And he has stepped up in his leadership too. We got 4 returning starters on the offensive line, anchored by Cage Casey. I mean, that's when you have those type of guys, the game starts and ends up front. D and O line, like that's where it is. And the guys we've been able to develop at Boise State, Cage Casey being one of them, that's where we really hang our hat on.
I got one more, and then I'll hand it over to Ed. But for us outsiders, and we're not necessarily outsiders because we cover a team, New Mexico, who's in the Mountain West. We're more than familiar with BSU and the blue turf. But I think a lot of outsiders looking in at the Mountain West, looking at Boise State specifically, maybe aren't as familiar with the pageantry that goes on in Boise, the respect that they have, the fandom that they have around the football program. Yeah. What can you say about the fan base, the stadium atmosphere, the pregame fireworks, all of that?
Well, first off, I've never been to the pit, but I've heard that is second to none too. Let's just say that. Hats off to you guys.
You'd love it. You'd love it.
It is. I've heard that is an elite atmosphere. But, I mean, I really do believe that Bronco Nation is the best fan base in the country. How they travel to games. I mean, we play Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl. It was like a home game for us. I mean, the amount our team travels, 7 games, 7 sellouts at Boise State. RAD, Jeremiah Dickey, and what he's been able to do with our stadium, the lights, I mean, it's an event now for our community. And our community loves their team. And there's guys, the amount of people that are season ticket holders for 30 years. I mean, I meet those people all the time because there's no NFL team. There's no pro baseball team. There's no NBA team. It's Boise State football. And that's a burden we carry, and Bronco Nation deserves the best.
Ed?
One quick question. We'll let you go, Coach. This year's schedule, USF, Appalachian State, Notre Dame, along with the conference schedule. Dan Mullins here at UNLV. That he had about 25 people, man. He was holding court in there.
Oh, yeah.
Any comments on the Notre Dame? Those are always tough games. Any comments on the schedule. One more year for Boise State in the Mountain West, then they go to the Pac-12. Any quick comment on the schedule this year?
Yeah, so South Florida is going to be a big one. I mean, we play them August 28th on a Thursday. They've done a great job with that program. Alex has really got the thing rolling. They're going to have a lot of speed. That's a long travel. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. So there's a lot of things that we got to deal with, which is just the reality of the game. At one point, the ball is going to be put down, but that's going to be a big one for our team and our season. App State coming to Boise State is going to be obviously an awesome game, I think, for the nation to watch, right? I mean, the success they've had over the years, they're a very similar fan base where they sell out every game too. So really excited about that game. Going to Notre Dame, I mean, it's going to be really special for our team, really special for our fans. I remember when that game was announced a year ago, there were parts of our fan base that were talking about that game before we even played last season, right? There's just a lot of hype on that game, which is awesome, especially them going to the national championship. Marcus Freeman's done a great job. I mean, in every game we play in the Mountain West, you better be on point because every single one of these teams can beat us and we can beat every single one of them. That's the awesome part about our league, that you better be ready to play. You better not look past anybody because at any point you can be beat or win. And that's the awesome part about our conference.
Well, Coach, thanks for taking the time to meet with us this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
God bless you guys.